Hello, this is Run the Numbers. My name is Jason, and today this video that you're watching, part of the Run the Numbers channel, is specifically part of the warm-up series. So for those that don't know what that means, that is I will be walking and talking in motion on the go, giving you all my thoughts on this particular topic, and I'm doing that walking through the beautiful sunny streets of Los Angeles, California. Also putting this video as part of the 100 videos challenge. That's a challenge I've made for myself so that you could say encourage, maybe you could say I force myself to create a whole lot of videos and publish them all up onto YouTube. And specifically, I do all of that in 100 days. So yes, create all these videos and publish them onto YouTube, roughly about one a day. And I'm more than halfway through, so I think it's going well. And hopefully you as well think it's going well. I put all this content together so that it helps you along your personal finance journey. Okay, with all that being covered, with big garbage truck that goes by. Hopefully now you can hear me. With that introduction being complete, let's jump right into today's topic, which let's actually turn around at this point. Now that we're jumping into today's topic, let's talk a little bit about my usage of the American Express Blue Cash Preferred card. And I'm trying to judge, so I'm going to basically talk out my thoughts. I'm kind of here, needing to talk through my issues, you could say. I'm here to talk out my thoughts related to the American Express Blue Cash Preferred card and if I should continue to use it, to have it. So let me give you a little bit of the kind of the backstory, some of the context here, some of the specifics. Well, I happen to have the American Express, the Blue Cash card. That's kind of the regular, you could say the sort of demoted version of the preferred card. And the difference there is the annual fee. I have the card without the annual fee. Again, just the standard American Express Blue Cash card. Now, my wife and we're, again, a two-player strategy, so through, her usage, and she's the primary account, but I can be authorized on her account and thereby use it as well. My wife has the American Express Blue Cash Preferred card. Now that one, it doesn't have an annual fee right now. Currently, the first year, the annual fee is waived. However, the annual fee will kick in. I'm thinking, I have to remember exactly when I started it. But my best guess on this is it will kick in a couple months. So why this matters is that I have just a little bit of time now to make some decisions and to really think through if she and I want to continue using this American Express Blue Cash Preferred card that has an annual fee. Now, why we got it in the first place was its amazing 6% cash back on, it has a couple of things, streaming services and other, but the main one is grocery store spending, which if you've been watching any of the videos, I've mentioned this many times before, that is a huge spending category for my family. We spend just so much money on groceries, got a lot of mouths to feed, which is a great thing. But yeah, we spend a lot. So yeah, if we try to get as much as we can, we want to squeeze the cashback bonus specifically for grocery store spending. So that's why we definitely like that in Q1 2024, the Chase Freedom Flex had grocery stores as something counted towards is one of the category spending. Now that has come and gone. We're into Q2 2024, so we're not going to be reaching for the Chase Freedom Flex anymore. There are other cards, and I just recently made a video where I talked about other cards. In this video, I talked about the AAA Daily Advantage Visa Signature card. I mentioned the Discover It card, and I made a little bit of a mistake in that I just mentioned it. I didn't really go into detail, but what I wanted to say is it's in the same category as some of these other cards that I am considering, but just simply because I need to make these decisions about the American Express Blue Cash Preferred card, just all these other cards that I sort of have lined up in the wait, all that decision kind of gets pushed down the road for these other cards, whereas I need to make the decision right now for the American Express Blue Cash Preferred card first. So yeah, Discover It card, it's one I'm looking at, but I need to make some other decisions first. So I didn't mention that before, my mistake. So I thought to cover that right here and right now. Okay, so hopefully that helps in case you watch that other video. I'll put the link in the description. Again, that link in the description. Go watch it so you know what I'm talking about here. Okay. Also, I think it was great that I mentioned that I made this other video where I'm considering all these other cards, just so that you understand the sort of, competitive landscape that I know of to evaluate the American Express Blue Cash Preferred card, to know that there are other cards that I could basically piece together really most to all of my use of this category spend, of grocery store spending. So I could piece together, again, I just in Q1 2024 use the Chase Freedom Flex. I could piece together and go get now the AAA Daily Advantage Visa Signature card. I could throw in the mix here the Discover It card. There's a whole lot of cards that I'm probably even not mentioning, but these are the top ones that are in consideration. So I could do all that, but the question is the timing. And you might have picked up from this last video I made how I'm considering all those cards, in a couple months, and it's for this reason, that I want to squeeze out the last usage of the American Express Blue Cash Preferred card for these last couple months, of which I have yet to incur the annual fee for that American Express Blue Cash Preferred card. So, I got a decision to make. Do I, in fact, do this plan where I stop using, cancel the card, don't get hit by the fee? It's $95 to get hit by this $95 annual fee, and then just piece through other cards. That's one option. That's one I think I'm leaning to go to. As you can tell, I need to kind of think it all through and figure it all out. But that's the way I'm leaning right now. The other option is, I could try to go get these other cards, and I don't necessarily need to cancel the American Express Blue Cash Preferred card. Instead, I could work on trying to maybe talk it out with American Express and see if instead of canceling that card for my wife, instead we demote that card and put that card into the American Express just Blue Cash card, where it doesn't have an annual fee, but yet so it doesn't have the 6% in. All right, let me cross the street here. It doesn't have the 6% cash back in some of these categories, including grocery stores, but we continue to still hold it, and it doesn't have an annual fee, so we don't necessarily need to. All right, here we go. I'm gonna hopefully safely cross the street. There we go. That's another option, not canceling it, but just simply demoting. Now, I don't even know if that's available. I need to talk it out with American Express. And the other option is we just kind of keep the status quo. We keep continuing to use the American Express Blue Cash Preferred card. And yeah, it's not gonna be all the way up to something we could get as a little bit higher of up to like 5% and some of these other cards that I'm, looking to put into the rotation. But it's close. If you do the math here and include the annual fee, it's kind of an effective. I did the math here recently, and that is it's like 4.42. So it's close. I mean, is all this trouble really worth it to try to squeeze this little bit more? Part of it is just kind of like the satisfaction in knowing things are maximized, things are as optimal as they can be. That's kind of some of the enjoyment of it. But it might not be worth all this stress to do it. Might not, just pay the fee, continue to use the card, get what looks like to be 6%, and then if you factor in the annual fee, it's effective a little bit less. But just go with that and maximize all the way of that up, as much as we see it. And we could piece that together with other cards too. And maybe that's actually the path of least resistance. So there's a lot of thought going into it, a lot that I'm trying to figure out. So I'll have a discussion over with my wife with how much effort we really want to put in to truly maximize and squeeze out this last little bit. So let me know your thoughts. Maybe that all this really helps to understand. I'm gonna pull over here so others get to use the sidewalk as well. Okay. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if all this to squeeze this little bit of extra cashback bonus is actually worth it, or if you think I'm actually just kind of splitting the finer hairs and it's really not either worth my time or worth the satisfaction of. Again, I like the thought of I'm maximizing it where I can. If you think it now makes sense to you as to why I'm putting these other cards that I've mentioned, again, I made a video where I mentioned all these cards I'm considering and I talked about the timeline. Now it should maybe all make sense as to this timeline is all because I need to make these decisions about I need to first make all these decisions about the Blue Cash Preferred card. Okay, with all that said, I'd love for your feedback if you'd like to give it. Please leave a comment to the video here. You could like the video, of course. You could subscribe to the channel. All these things help me out. But nonetheless, I'm going to leave you here while I got these things to think through, and these thoughts can maybe help you if you're thinking through similar things. We could all talk it out and understand where we're all coming from on it. All right, gotta run.